Welcome to Game MizConduct. I'm CT here with Dory.
Hello.
Don't forget to follow us on social media. Search Game MizConduct. All right. So we are recording this podcast at 12:07 on the 15th of November. And if I end up going radio silent, it's because I am currently in the queue for Taylor Swift tickets, and I have been for 2 hours. So just a little. Yes, I have I have to admit, I am a Swiftie. Don't hate on me. It's fine.
You've been to a few shows too.
I've been to every single show of hers, and I don't know if I'm going to get to this one because it's a little suspect, but we'll see. Anyway, so just want to set the scene for you here. I've been in the queue on Ticketmaster for 2 hours, just waiting to give her my money. But anyway, let's talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning. So last week was an interesting week. I was at the game on the 8th, and that was annoying once again.
Annoying. That's a good one. Annoying.
They lost to the Oilers 3-2. I think they were winning a lot of the game. I can't remember. It's so long ago now. It's been a week. But yeah, and so they had 2 days off, and they were in DC on Friday night and lost 5-1. An ugly game. And then I guess we need obviously we need to mention the hit on Cal Foot.
Yeah.
Where the Washington player got suspended for 3 games. Yeah, that was ugly. I only saw a recap of it, but it was an ugly hit. It was bad.
Yeah, I also only saw like replays of it. I I don't understand how we're still having these conversations in the year 2022.
Yeah, I feel like we've been
I
doing
really
this long
don't.
enough.
I do
But
too.
he had given up possession of the puck for a while, and he's the Capitals player just didn't let up, and it was ugly. So he was suspended 3 games. I think there was also some disciplinary action. Maroon, was it for that game or the next game? I think he got fined, but I can't remember which game it was for.
I thought it was Edmonton, but I may be wrong.
Oh,
I thought it
it
was
could be
Edmonton,
wrong.
and that he got a little in trouble for.
Okay.
But I'm gonna look it up. But I think I think it was Edmonton.
Okay. Can't keep track anymore.
No, you can't.
And then it's set up for quite the showdown come Sunday the 13th at Amalie Arena.
Gosh, so
versus
weird.
the Capitals. The Lightning were up 4-0 in the first period, and I think they had 10 shots on goal to the Capitals, 0 shots on goal for like the first 15 or so minutes. It was insane.
Yeah.
Like they came out with a vengeance. And
yeah.
But then they let him back in the game by the end of it, and it got to 6-3. The Lightning finally winning it. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Pat Maroon threw a couple punches and got in a fight after that first period too. So it was an entertaining night of hockey, that is for sure.
Yeah. And it's obvious.
I didn't realize we hated the Capitals so much.
No, I remember, when they were in the same division years ago. And there was a, kind of bad, but I guess it was maybe a little catty.
Well, there was some bad blood because they would meet each other in the playoffs, in the first round of the playoffs a lot. But then once they were split up in divisions, that kind of went away a little bit. But wow.
Yeah. It seems like it's back. I don't necessarily think it's bad. I've actually been surprised that there aren't more teams gunning for the Lightning now. Of course, the Panthers they've got their beef.
Yeah.
That's a fun little rivalry the last few years. However, I have been a little shocked that more teams aren't getting on this, Lightning hate wagon. We'll call it, Boston, Philly back in the day, but then they were so bad for so many years, they just weren't relevant.
Yeah.
So it didn't really matter. So, I was thinking maybe the Islanders, but it hasn't worked out. So I'm thinking it's going to be the Capitals. The Hurricanes that's been an interesting rivalry lately.
Yeah.
It started off a little more gentlemanly
Yeah.
than we've
I love
seen.
that word, gentlemanly.
It's very gentlemanly, and we've seen it kind of get a little nasty
Yeah.
as of late, which is fine. I don't mind that. They started off nice. then the gloves came off, literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of surprised more teams aren't as aggressive against the Lightning as the Capitals, as the Panthers have been.
Well, I
So
also feel like there's been a lot of movement in teams lately. So maybe
yeah,
teams that we've met in the last 3 years in the playoffs are look a little different. Coaches are a little different, kind of thing. Oh, nice game misconduct cup there. Christmas present a
oh,
couple years ago. Oh, there it is.
there
There it
it is.
is. Um, but yeah, so I think maybe there's been a lot of change in the league and maybe not so much animosity on certain teams that we would think
Yeah,
there would be. But speaking of a team that we beat to win a Stanley Cup, the Dallas Stars are in town tonight as we record this podcast at 7
yeah.
p.m. And then the Calgary Flames will be in town on Thursday at 7 p.m. before the team flies to Nashville for an 8 o'clock puck drop on Saturday the 19th.
I am excited to see Ryan McDonough.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't want to say the Calgary game is a throwaway game or any. I don't want to say that,
No, you
right?
can't really say that for any games right now.
Um, and Calgary's had some fire, no
I love how
pun
you say
intended.
Calgary.
I
Calgary.
have a coworker and she's from Calgary, so this is just how I decided to
Okay.
yeah, relate to her. But yeah, so I you have to watch for them because they're a real tenacious team.
Mm-hmm.
And they can catch you and they can get you. We saw them make a great playoff run. Um, so I think this is an interesting stretch of games coming up now, going into that very important December, which
Yeah.
December is always, and it's said to us by somebody years ago that worked for the Lightning that said, December is it. By December, you want to know who your team is and what their identity is, and where realistically they can end the season. So the all important December is creeping up here.
Yeah. With
And
14 games in December. It's a
yeah,
lot.
and I believe there are a lot of division games. There are very meaningful games, if I'm not mistaken. Not that
Yeah. Yeah.
all games are meaningful, but these have a little bit more implications for down the line.
Yeah. A handful of games that are, look, at this time, all of them are important, to
Right,
be
sure.
honest. But yeah, looking ahead through the end of the month, Boston in town on the 24th. The day after Thanksgiving, um, the Blues are in town at 8 p.m. And then a couple days off before a back-to-back road trip to Buffalo and then Boston to round out the month before they, excuse me, head to Philly to start December. So, and
Yeah,
then they'll be home for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row the first couple weeks of December.
yeah. So I feel like the schedule has been very interesting coming up because you do look at and there's a lot of teams they're going to be playing coming up here in this very important time period that we're about to enter, where you look on paper and go, they should win this one, they should win that one. This one's going to be a struggle, but you really just don't know because this is, I think it's safe to say the Lightning are a dynasty. If you're making it to 3 straight Stanley Cup Finals, I mean, and how many Eastern Conference championships in the last however many years, right? So everything you see on paper isn't necessarily true when it comes to
Right.
this team because people are trying to give them everything they have, which we know. But I do find this to be a very interesting schedule where it seems to be, kind of a toss-up game or a game that I think they should be able to win. Um, So I think that's the good thing. I haven't looked at the schedule, looked at the stretch, and gone, oh, this isn't looking good.
Yeah. So again, December is when we really find out what this team is like.
Yep.
So anyway, lots of stuff coming up. Lots of games coming up. They just released a new episode of Recharge, Rose Leads Home, where they go trick-or-treating with Pierre-Edouard Bellemare and his family, and they also hang out with Bogosian
So
as well.
cute.
So that series still cranking and just really good. So make sure you check that out at tampabaylightning.com. Anything else before we leave for the day?
Also on the Lightning's website by Chris Kren, the Lightning Reporter, is a really, really nice story of titled "The Long Road to Nick Paul's 7-year deal," and it goes through all of the adversity he had to go through, all the time, the 3 times on waivers to where he is now, leading to a 7-year deal with one of the best teams in the entire sport. So really good read, really nicely done.
And where
If
is
you get
that?
a chance, it's on the Lightning site. I believe it was on the front page when I saw it, but it shouldn't be
Yep.
buried too deep. It's fairly new.
Yeah, it's the third item
There
under there. So definitely check that out. All right. Thank you so much, Dory. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you never miss an episode, and leave us a 5-star rating and a review. Don't forget, you can watch us on YouTube as well, and we will catch you next time.